Hello, families. This is Miss Boatman coming to you to explain our schedule. I wanted to do this because up until this point, I have been making a daily schedule that outlined what our activities were for the day. Now that I have a better understanding of where your kids are, where our teaching is going, and how things are working, I've been able to create a master schedule that gives you kind of an outline of what our days will look like every day. This will take away from having to have that daily schedule. I will still have one with the kids, but for the parents, I will post this so you can kind of have an idea of what we're doing and when. Starting next week, we will be starting our benchmark curriculum, which is our literacy, reading and writing curriculum. And we have not started it up until this point because we really wanted to form a community and we wanted to get routines in place so that kids understood what the expectations were and we could make everything run smoothly. And we're actually really doing amazing. I'm very proud of all of your children. They have been coming to class and trying their best, and that's amazing, especially given the time frame that we're in right now. So with that being said, I wanted just to go over a color coded key at the bottom that explains to you what each color means. The yellow, you'll notice the students are not on Zoom at this time. This is considered independent time. From 8:30 to 8:40, we do what is called good mornings, and those are found on our website. This is really good for your kids to get up, ready, and be ready for class. Doing this kind of gets them in the mood of school. So I did ask them today if they enjoyed doing them to kind of gauge if this is something I wanted to continue or not. And all of them said they did like it. So that made me happy. And if you notice, there's a lot of green areas. Green areas mean they will be on Zoom with me. They may be in a small group, they may be working with me, but they will be on Zoom. And the expectation is they will stay on Zoom during that time. Break time, for the first break, I like them to stay on Zoom. I was having a lot of problems with kids leaving and then not coming back. So I would like them to stay on Zoom, but what I asked them to do for that first break is to turn off their camera and their microphone, get up and move around, like get their wiggles out. I know some of the kids do like to, talk and that's fine too. Like as we're getting a little bit more into the year, like I told them if they wanted to go in a breakout room for 15 minutes, but I do want to let you know that these times that are in red are unsupervised. Those are my break times as well, so I'm usually um, doing things at those times. So I do want you to know that they are unsupervised. So if you would prefer your child not to be here at those times, just have them turn off their camera and mute their microphone, and they can walk away from the computer. And then if you notice, so that's the red is or the pink it just signifies that they can either leave or come back. I would like them to stay for the first break, but the second one is completely up to you. And then the purple is a little different. So the purple one, this time frame is going to be reserved for my ELD students, my English language learners. And I will be doing 30 minutes a day with helping with English language development. There are students that are identified as English language learners, and those will be the students who will be receiving that small group instruction. This is to work on language. However, from 1 to 1:30, if there are students that would like to come and work with their friends, kind of like a study hall, that is completely fine with me. They can come, I can put them in a break room, and after they go in there, I will be working with my group. The only thing is if they're not here by 1:05, I will be in a break room, so I will not be getting notifications. So if they don't come by 1:05, they probably will not be able to get in. So if they leave after lunch and don't want to wait and they want to enter later, it has to be by 1:05. But this is no longer mandatory. So 1 to 1:30 is no longer mandatory. So technically the students will be done at 12 o'clock for live instruction. Unless they are an English language learner, then I will be providing a 30-minute block for them. With that being said, from either 1 or 1:30 to 3:15, your children should still be doing learning. So I did originally have a full schedule for them, but as I spoke with your children, they expressed to me that it's a lot and they're tired, and I completely understand that. I'm a mother myself, and I know my son feels the same way. So I decided to listen to them and think about their mental health. And I decided to give them 30 minutes of reading, which is the expectation. But after that, I want them to go and they can, if you want them to be engaged in learning programs, there's a lot of programs on Clever that they can choose from. But hopefully, you're giving them change to count or having them write a grocery list or playing outside or building something using their imagination. It's really important that we remember that this is a pandemic and that, our children have a lot on their plates right now. So as much as I had planned in the beginning of the year before school started, I really had to rethink that and go off of how they were feeling. So this time from 1 to 3:15, the only expectation I have is that they do reading. Now, if you don't want your child on the computer for another half hour after we're done with Zoom, I completely understand that as well. So if they would like to read a book that is not on the computer, as long as you can verify that they did do their reading, because the only way to be a better reader is to continue to read, then that is completely fine if they do it off screen. But they do need to fill out the book review on Google Classroom when they are finished with their book. Epic has a ton of books. It's an amazing site, but I do understand that the kids are already on the computer a lot. So I do get that. But this is like basically a library at home. So it's completely up to you how you choose to do that. But if you're going to have them do it off screen, just make sure to let me know that they did fulfill that 30 minutes. When you look up here, in the morning, they're going to come in, they're going to do morning work because they're going to work in groups. And then I have math, and you notice it's for an hour. 30 minutes of that will be instruction, and the other 30 minutes of that will be working in groups. I have 2 grade levels, so the 30 minutes that I'm not giving instruction to one group, they'll be doing independent, and then I'll flip-flop them. So I will be teaching for 30 minutes with one group and then teaching for 30 minutes with the other group because they have different math standards that they need to make sure that they get. You'll also notice on Mondays, we have PE Zoom with Coach C from 9 to 9:30. This is a completely separate Zoom. So what will happen is the kids will come to me, we'll do their morning work until 9. I will release them. They will go to the Zoom class. I will not be here after probably 9:05 until right before they come back. So just know that if they're not here by that time, to have them go straight to the PE Zoom. And that Zoom link is both in Google Classroom and on our website. So they'll need to do that. And then we did it this week, and I have to say I was really impressed with how well they went from one to the other. And then on Thursdays, my 4th graders only have music class, and they will be coming to me until 9, and then they will leave us at 9, and they will go to their Zoom music class, depending on who their teacher is, and they know this already. And then they will be in that class from 9 to 9:40, and then return back to us. From 10 to 10:30, I'm going to try to make sure that we're still getting in growth mindset, art, social studies, science. We have a counselor, a new counselor this year. She comes in and does presentations, those kinds of things. So I'm reserving that time frame for being able to do that. In the afternoon, you'll also notice there's a literacy block that goes literacy, read aloud, literacy. And again, the reason for that is 30 minutes of a lesson. Then we have a 15-minute break for me to read a book to them, and then a 30-minute independent time. So if 3rd grade is independent here, then 3rd grade will be getting their lesson here, and 4th grade vice versa. So it doesn't really matter what grade they're in because one will be getting a lesson while the other is doing independent work. Again, I had the choice to combine and only teach one of the grades to do the literacy program, but I chose to do both because I feel that there's really good things in both of them that I feel your children need to get. So I will be doing 2 completely separate curriculums for that. The kids will go to lunch. We talked about that. And technically, They do not have to come back after that unless they are an English language learner. And I will be speaking with your children, letting them know who falls into that category. I will let you know, and then you will know what to expect as far as if they will be meeting with me, what days they're meeting with me, so on and so forth. Those of you who have children who are not considered English language learners will have that time for them to come in and if they want to do like a study hall. I will go and make sure that my groups are not the same group every single day so that they also have the opportunity to go in and speak, talk to their friends and have that study time as well. So remember, if your child is not an English language learner, which I will let you know, if they're not an English language learner, they do not have to come to this. If they are an English language learner, then they do have to come, and I will give you a schedule. Afternoon is completely independent. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and let me know. I've been fortunate enough to talk to quite a few parents. Know that if I call you, I'm not always calling for a negative reason. In fact, I don't call many parents with negative things unless I really need to, but for the most part, I mean, I like to let you know how amazing your kids are, and I feel really, really lucky to be their teacher. So again, if there's anything you need, please reach out to me, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful year. Have a great evening.